Hey there, Mr. Witherow here. All right, we're going to talk about system of equations once again. Remember that it's simply put, it's two equations with two variables. All right, the goal is to find what each variable is equal to. Right, find out what x is, find out what y is. We learned how to graph last time, so today we're going to talk about substitution, and then the last one would be elimination. So we eliminate one. But today we're going to talk about substitution. Remember the three different types of solutions. We get one solution, and that is where it's a single point where they intersect. We get no solution, and then we get infinitely many solutions. So we've got the three same things. One solution, no solution, or infinitely many solutions. All right? So today we're going to talk about solving by substitution. All right, today is all about the S, because that's going to be lots of S. First step is to solve one of the equations for either X or Y. And believe it or not, they may have already done it for you. All right, then we're going to sub the expression into the equation, and then you're going to solve. All right, then you're going to sub again. So you're going to sub your answer back in, and then you're going to solve one more time. So what you need to think about is you need to think about solve, sub, solve, sub, solve. That's what you're going to do. Solve, sub, solve, sub, solve. All right, let's give it a shot. All right, here we go. First one. We get y is equal to 6x, and 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 20. So that means that we're going to take, the first thing is to solve one of the equations for one of the variables. Well, it's already done right there. Y is equal to 6x. So when we see a y down here, we get to put this 6x in right there. You're going to sub it in for there. So we're going to rewrite this. We're going to say 2x plus 3 times 6x is equal to negative 20. Sub. So solve, then we're going to sub. So now we have all x's. So now we get to solve for x. So 3 times 2 is 18. So this is 18x equals negative 20. We gather like terms. Since they're on the same side, we get to do what it says here. So that's 20x is equal to negative 20. Then divide by 20. Oh, not negative 20, just by 20. All right. And that's going to be x is equal to negative 1. All right. We got our first one. We got what x is. So again, we've solved, which they did for us. We subbed that in. We solved for x. Now we're going to take this x value and we're going to take it and we're going to plug it back in up here. So now we get y is equal to 6 times negative 1, which is y is equal to negative 6. So now we have x and we have y. But remember that it is a point. It's a point. So we have to write it as a point. Remember, it's xy, x and then y. So x was negative 1, y is negative 6. There is our answer. Please make sure you write it as a point, because it's a point. All right, boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right, let's try some more. Remember, solve, sub, solve, sub, solve. That's what we're going to do. All right. Okay, let's take this one. We're going to have this. This time they already have x equals, right? So that means x is the same as 4y plus 7. So that means when I see the x down here, I get to put this whole thing in right here. So I'm going to substitute that in. So that means this new equation is written as 2 times this expression, 4y plus 7, minus the 6y is equal to 12. Now, I know some of you out there, I can do this in my head. You got to get over that. You've got to write this down. That way then you can see all the steps, because there's going to be multiple steps. So you're going to distribute the 2. So you're going to get 8y plus 14 minus the 6y is equal to 12. Then you're going to combine like terms because they're on the same side. I can combine like terms. So 8 minus 6 is 2. So 2y plus 14 is equal to 12. And then minus 14. I get 2y is equal to negative 2, which means that now I divide by 2 and I get y is negative 1. Hey, how about that? So I'm already going to go ahead and put my answer over here, and I know y is negative 1, so I put that over there. So now I have to find out what x is. So again, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to sub it in right there. So this becomes x is equal to 4 times negative 1 plus 7. Ooh, slide over. So then 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 plus 7, which means that x is 3. So that means I put that in here, because again, it's the point. So there's my point. So these two lines cross at that point, 3, negative 1. Okay? All right, let's look at a third example. A third example looks like this. Well, this looks a little strange because it says that y is equal to 4x minus 1, and this one says y is equal to 2x minus 5. Well, doesn't y equal y? All right, well, that's great. Y does equal y. So take this y and plug it into this y. So now I'm going to have 4x minus 1 is equal to 2x minus 5. Notice that we just simply put them equal to each other because it says that y is equal to this and y is equal to that. So we get to do those two expressions. So now this is when you have to move it over, right? So you're going to subtract 2x on both sides because they were not on the same side. So this is 2x minus 1 is equal to negative 5. Now for me to move this over there, I have to add 1. And I'm going to get 2x is equal to negative 4. So then I'm going to divide by 2. I'm going to get x equals negative 2. Ooh, I didn't write that one very good. X equals negative 2. How about that? There we go. Now we can see it a little bit better. All right, we did it. We've got x. So remember, we're going to write it as a point so we know that this is negative 2. We just now have to go find out what y is. So the great thing is that we don't care which y we put it in. We're going to take this and we're going to put it in for x. So now we get y is equal to 4 times negative 2 minus 1. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 minus 1, which is negative 9. So there's our answer. Again, it wouldn't matter which one of these I put it in, right? When it's like this, I could have put this negative 2 right here, got negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, minus 5 more is your negative 9, right? So sometimes you can do this part in your head, but I'm going to tell you right now, this part right here you may need to be putting on paper. All right, couple more. Keys, stay with me. All right, so now what we got here is we have that x plus 5y is equal to 4, and 3x plus 5y is equal to negative 1. Now notice that neither one of these is x equals or y equals. So now we have to do the very first thing, and that means we're going to have to solve for one of the variables. Now please pick the variable that has a coefficient of 1. Which one has 1? Well, it looks like it's this one. This x only has a 1 in front of it. So this one I can solve for x by getting the 5y to the other side. So let's do that. I know I don't have very much room here. So x plus 5y is equal to 4. So if I subtract 5y from both sides, I'm going to get x is equal to 4 minus 5y. All right? Remember, these aren't like terms, so I can't do anything with it. So now I have Now I have what x is. So then I'm going to take this thing right here and plug it in to this x right over here. All right? So that means that I'm going to have 3 times 4 minus 5y plus 15y is equal to negative 1. All right, I'm going to try to move up so it's out of that shadow. There we go. All right, so here we go. This is our algebra. This is our solving for y. We're going to distribute the 3. So 12 minus 15y plus 15y is equal to negative 1. All right. Then since they're on the same side, I get to combine the like terms here. Well, negative 15 plus 15 or 15 minus 15 is 0. So these things cancel out, so I'm only left with the 12. So 12 is equal to negative 1. Is that true or false? Remember, the y cancels. It's gone. The y disappears. We only have 12 is equal to negative 1. Well, last time I checked, 12 does not equal negative 1. This is false. So since it's false, that means we don't get a solution. There is no solution here because there's no number that we can plug into for x, and there's no number we can plug in for y, the same numbers for y and the same numbers for x, that will produce these things. That's what happens. So if one of the variables disappears and we have a false statement, we get no solution. So remember, we have 3 different types of solutions. We have one solution, no solution, and then infinitely many solutions. So let's take a look at this last one, which we should by now know me. And this one should come out to being infinitely many solutions. Let's see if we're right. All right, again, we look at which variable has a coefficient of 1. That's this one right here. So that means that I'm just going to do it underneath here. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Now I'm left with y is equal to 18 minus 2x. We like that because now we're going to take this and we're going to throw it into this y up here. So let's rewrite that. We're going to have 6x plus 3 times 18 minus 2x is equal to 54. So distribute 6x plus 3 times 18 is 54, minus 3 times 2 is 6x is equal to 54. Since they're on the same side, we get to combine like terms. 6 minus 6 is 0, so that goes away. So 54 equals 54. Is that true or false? That is true. So since it's true, that means that we have infinitely many solutions. IMS, or the infinity sign, which is bad. There we go. Right? However you want to write it. I don't care. Infinitely many solutions, or infinity sign. Sorry about that. So what happens here is that when we solve for this, right, the x term falls out, which means that the same x can go in here and the same y can go in here, and we would produce these 2 answers. All right, so there you go. 3 different ways, or this is our second way of 3 ways, right? So we got graphing, substitution, and elimination, and we got those out of the way. All right, keep making math fun.